be able to do D, however, I need to think about what my answer was in C part 2. This is my functions that I am making equal to each other, and I have this cubic. So minus x cubed plus ax squared. If I take a negative x squared out, that leaves me with x minus a. Therefore, I've got this negative cubic that bounces at 0 and cuts at a. And looks like this. In part C, part 2, and I have this straight line, which is AX. So it goes through the origin, has a gradient of A. And this could go all sorts of directions. I can only have one intersection point or 2 or 3. And in this answer here, exactly 2 intersection points, this is how we're going to get exactly 2 intersection points, where it touches here and goes through at 0. And this line of A of x is a tangent that goes through the origin. So, in part B, if it's going to be a tangent that goes, it must be when A equals 4. So I'm looking for where does this touch the curve, what is the x value, when this tangent, which is AX, goes through the origin, because AX does go through the origin. So it's a rule which is where the tangent goes through the origin. Therefore, I've got f dash of x equals f of x over x, given A equals 4. And then I can jump on the calculator and solve. I also get an answer of x equals 0, and at 0 I do have a tangent that would also go through and have 2 x-intercepts, but A has to be a positive real number. Therefore, A equals 4 and x equals 2 is where it will be. Looking at part E, the graph of f and G has 3 points of intersection when A is bigger than 4. Let the x coordinates of these 3 intersection points be R, S and T. Okay, so if on my calculator I get 3 answers, and those 3 answers are x equals 0, x equals a minus the square root of a squared minus 4a on 2, and x equals a plus the square root of a squared minus 4a on 2. Since r is the smallest and s is the next largest and t is the biggest, I think this is going to be t and this is going to be r and this will at s, because what we have in this particular case is as this, and that this is going to be 0 and this is going to be a minus the square root of a squared minus 4a on 2, and this will be a plus the square root of a squared minus 4a on 2. The only thing that I'd want to check is to make sure that this is not negative, and I can do that by going given a equals, now it's got to be bigger than 4, so let's say we pick 5, and that gives me an answer that is definitely positive. And if it's equal to 10, that gives me an answer that is definitely positive. So this is always going to be bigger than 0. So this is going to be R, this is going to be S, and this is going to be T. So that is going to be D and E.